receiving radiation and chemo is damaging, period. It is 1,000 times more damaging for patients with Fanconi anemia. The patients have a DNA repair defect. We don't even want to have dental x-rays. And we did it for years because we had no other option.
Fanconi anemia is a disease that's caused by DNA repair deficiencies. Our body naturally has some DNA damage and naturally has the ability to repair that. But for these patients, cells really fall apart.
You become anemic. You have low white count, so you get infections. You have low platelets, so you start to bruise and bleed and all that. Left untreated, either there will be a bad infection to take over the life, or the other part is that this bone marrow can develop leukemia. By age 12, 80% of these children will have a failed bone marrow. When we do a bone marrow transplant, we have to clear the space in the bone marrow for the new cells to go in, and then we make the preparation so that the cells are not rejected.
And so by giving them transplants with chemotherapy and radiation that we know causes even more DNA damage, it rapidly accelerates their development of cancers. And so almost all of these patients ultimately develop cancers in their 20s and 30s. And unfortunately, the way that we treat cancer tends to also be with chemotherapy and radiation that these patients can't tolerate.
The idea that one could maybe do a bone marrow transplant without having to use chemotherapy to create space in the marrow was an idea that was developed here at Stanford by Dr. Irv Weissman in his lab, and then by Dr. Agnieszka Czechowicz, although she wasn't a doctor at the time. She was an MD PhD student at the time. And they showed that you could do a bone marrow transplant and you could replace the chemotherapy with an antibody.
Briquilimab is an antibody that targets the receptor CD117. This is an important receptor that lives on the cell surface of various different cells, including hematopoietic stem and progenitor cell. It's the receptor that binds to a critical cytokine known as stem cell factor that stem cells need to stay stem cells. And briquilimab specifically blocks that binding. It's depriving hematopoietic stem and progenitor cells of that critical signaling factor to stay a stem cell, and so they're being depleted in part of that process. By having fewer stem cells, it makes it easier for the incoming stem cells that get transplanted to engraft in these patients.
We saw that the antibody could sort of accelerate the clearance of the stem cells in patients with Fanconi anemia to allow the bone marrow transplant to work.
Hey, I'm just going to give you all an update on our current study status. You all know that we have our amendment which was submitted to the IRB, and happy to share that we have an approval as of yesterday. So and as you know, our amendment is basically to enroll 3 more patients on a new arm, which we're going to have in the protocol.
Being the patient on any clinical trial is extra nerve-wracking. No one's ever received the treatment that's being utilized in that clinical trial.
I talked to the family and I told them point blank, look, I'm not going to give radiation. I'm going to do this new antibody, and I do not know what the chance of rejection is going to be. And so you are nervous the entire time.
Clearly, we wanted to be able to reboot the blood and immune system in these patients. That was really important. But how exactly you define that in a number in terms of what percentage has to come from your donor? So we had said that as long as there's 1% donor cells, that means there's some healthy stem cells that we'll have engrafted that should be able to make blood and immune cells ultimately in this patient.
We are hogging the computer. I'm hogging the computer, and then I'll text the team. And the team gets on the computer.
And then when the first chimerism results came back, they were over 95%.
How are you?
Good.
Good. I was just going to ask you, how is her health-wise?
Good. She's only been sick once since the whole 2 years.
So, at this point, I would say that you just carry on with your regular follow-ups. I think she's, from a transplant perspective, doing very well. And then the annual checkups where they do the cancer screening and all those things are very, very important. I'm always here. You can always send me an email if there is a concern. But looking at her, I think we don't need to do anything anymore.
So the next step in the trial is to see whether we even need the antibody.
We have made great progress, but there's still a lot to go from here. We should be in a place where we can do completely chemotherapy and completely radiation-free transplants that are healthy, safe, and effective, and are very hopeful for future treatments from here.